The content on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only. Please contact a professional when it comes to your financial needs. Thanks for tuning in. We're back doing a weekly check-in on a week that was in crypto. Going to check in on our investments and stay consistent right here, right now on the Ujamaa Network. And let's talk about what's happening in the car market right now. Ask yourself, is 23% too high for a car loan? And actually, if you have to ask yourself, you probably need your head re-examined. Coming out of debt, and if you're going to a subprime lender, that is the rate. So do not think for 1 second that if you're trying to build generational wealth, this is the way to do it. I would advise, and what I had to do is make sure I didn't make that same mistake that I made getting into it. Anything can happen, especially times like now. I found myself unemployed through no fault of my own a few years back, couldn't pay any bills. That kind of reality is hitting people now with these massive layoffs. If you have a car note that is on average now $750 a month, it's looking like you may have to do some real soul searching to see how you're going to survive this thing. With rent exploding to what it is right now, add that if you're sitting down here now trying to figure out what kind of job or if you can get a job that's going to replace the one you just lost, yeah, tough pill to swallow. Vehicle prices right now, if you're even thinking about getting a vehicle, think again. They're averaging $40,000. And even with the massive incentives that we're seeing on the dealership websites, Nissan up until September 30th was offering $10,000 in our area in customer incentives. That on a $30,000-$40,000 car, $50,000 car is a drop in a bucket, especially when you factor in 23% and having to pay that 23% over now 6 and 7 years. Again, not the best decision you could make if you're trying to get generational wealth started in your own families. For most Americans, gone are the days of a 3-year auto loan. You just simply won't qualify for it. And if you're on a site like Exeter, Westlake Financial, you can forget it. Those are subprime lenders. But let's say you were able to get on something like a Capital One. With the average cost of a new vehicle hovering around $40,000, again, gone are the days of the 3, 4, even 5-year auto loans. But let's just hit that 5-year mark. And if you can get a favorable interest rate, something like 7 or 8%, you're looking at a monthly payment of $792. Even if you drag that out to 84 months, you're only dropping it by $150. With the current interest rates for subprime lenders hovering around 25%, there is just absolutely no way anyone can stomach a car that is only $40,000. Used car prices are being affected, say $22,000 for a vehicle at 84 months. No one's doing that. 60 months, $646. You have to get your credit scores up. Go ahead and drop that rate to what it is if you had great credit. No issues. Currently it's like 6.5, 5.5. Let's do a 6. You're talking about $430 a month, which is reasonable, But what kind of car are you going to get for $22,000? These are the questions you're going to have to ask yourself. Next to purchasing your home or paying your rent, that automobile is going to be the largest financial blunder anyone could make. You have your obligations to your family and healthcare, that kind of thing. Those things coming out of your check that are unavoidable if things happen. A car just isn't one of them. Yeah, I've been there. We all need our vehicles to get to work. Very few cities, when you think about it in America, have great access to public transportation and low rent. You factor all these things in, and you look at $1,000 car payment for something that's going to depreciate faster than you can get your next raise. It's a no-brainer not to do the kind of damage to your financial outlook to yourself by getting in bed with one of these loans. Trust me, I've been there. Next to my home, it was the biggest 5 year to 6 year drain on my account than I care to remember. The fact that I'm out of it now only by consistently paying those bills, sacrificing a whole lot, is it worth the sacrifice? Nah, not at these prices, especially not at 25% as a subprime lender. Um, Even if you can get into a decent range, like a 6 or 7, if you can get a good rate on your auto loan, you got to ask yourself, does the need to have that vehicle justify having to pay the kind of money you're going to be paying out of your income just to get to the job? Very difficult times financially that we're all living in. Your best motion that you can do is save. If you have to buy a vehicle, do it only after you have a substantial down payment or pay it off in cash.